So I guess we're shooting. I should be used to that word by now. Actually, no. I left the industry, whatever, 1988. Anyway, this is about as raw as it gets, I guess. I mean, we're recording. You're gonna see me like pushing, like turning it off and stuff because I have no idea what I'm doing. And this is no performance. This channel is not a performance. These shows have no topic. I'm not going to have a topic. I would like to. I have tea. I don't have fancy water. I don't have a water holder. But so if you see me lean over, I'm having tea because I'm 50% Irish and I drink tea all day long and I don't have very much money, so it's also fills the tummy very well. I'm sorry. So this is about as raw as it gets, I think. I don't know. I don't know. All I know of YouTube is just watching movies and clips and like, I don't know, researching documentaries or whatever. So I don't know what I'm doing. I hope this is taping. The lighting is real. Oh, by the way, I'm going to try to like adhere to community standards. That much I know. So you're going to hear me say blank, I guess, a lot, or blankety blank, or blank that blank, because I don't want to mess up. And if I do, I have to start the whole video all over again because I don't know and how to edit anything, whatever. And I actually applied to USC Film School, believe it or not, right out of high school. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but anyway, because I thought I was going to be a film director, I'm an actor and film director, and like, what? So I applied. How did this come up? Anyway, I applied at big school, and the film school there is like small. I mean, it's like a clique, like, I don't know, 7 people tops. Anyway, long story longer, I really thought I was going to get in. And then the question was, well, tell us about how you would make a movie about a book, or what book. So I had, you guys, again, this is going to be a totally random experience. So I like, this is how I operate. I talk off the top of my head. The light is messed up. I look probably fuzzy and red and whatever. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, film school. So they told me, the write the book thing, or write about how you're going to make the movie, the book. So I had just read Joan Collins' autobiography, because one of my favorite books is Hollywood Wives. My other favorite book is, King Lear. So, I don't know, whatever. So I picked this book that she said was her favorite book. It was called Moon something by Wilkie Collins, Moonstone. And it was the worst book. I mean, it was so boring. And I had to get this in, and I didn't know, I couldn't, I mean, I'm well read, but when I'm on the spot, well, when I used to be on the spot, I just grab. So I wrote this horrendous manuscript of this terrible book. And of course, I didn't get in. So anyway, that's that story. Anyway, I'm Sean Fry, and you all know that, and I know you know that. Excuse me for clinking. And so this is as raw as it gets. First of all, I'm not going to like tell you the same tired stories. Not that my stories are tired. Maybe they are. I'm sure they are. But they're full of ET tidbits, factoids, and I know what I've told over 45 years. So I'm going to try not to repeat the same, like, I did this, I saw this, and this is what happened. I will probably, if it's interesting enough to repeat. So where was I? Oh, so anyway, this channel is No Holds Barred. That much I know. My handle on YouTube is Sean Fry, No Holds Barred. This is about what? Not about barring no holds, or yeah. Anyway, whatever. And you will see me hashtagging, you probably already have hashtagging Robinhood like everywhere. Well, that's kind of my V for well, I don't want to say that word, but it was like my V, movement. It's not a movement. Um, so I hashtag everything Robinhood now instead of like, oh, Globe, oh, hashtag Hollywood scandal or actresses or whatever. I did that a little bit, and then I have my own internal movement, believe it or not, for lack of a much better word. And that precludes a lot of stuff. And one of the things that it precludes is that well, okay, let me put it this way. Robinhood, everybody knows, and yikes, some of my posts in my press is actually called my Robinhood Press. I'll get into my book. Yeah, there are like 6-year-olds on Robinhood hashtag because there's like 9.7 million. So, but my book, nor my posts, don't have, oh, by the way, no political stuff here. Religion, maybe a little bit, but no political stuff here. I am neutral. I have an affiliation, which is not probably a lot of people's affiliation, and it's not some catchphrase like, no offense, but progressive to me, here I am going into politics one time. Progressive to me doesn't mean anything. No offense. But what are you progressive about, and what do you stand for as a progressive? Humble opinion, really kind of not much of anything, and politics. So anyway, where was it? So Robinhood, right? So that's my gig, dudes. I am taking from the rich and giving to the poor, plain and simple. That's why it's Robinhood Press. It has Robinhood. My new book is beautifully illustrated, BTW, but there's no Robinhood stuff in it. That's me. That's my little project movement, whatever you want to call it. So you will see hashtag Robinhood everywhere, and so will those poor 7-year-olds. But, like, I'll give you an example. My book, which is scathing, and it has names and all this stuff, doesn't say the F word I think it says it once or twice. That is it. And that is from somebody who has been speaking like a sailor, since 10 maybe, because my stepfather had a vulgar mouth. In the book, we'll talk about it. You can read it. It's out on May 1st, Vanity Press. So it's not going to be like going to Barnes and Noble. It will all have to go through me, but same deal. I mean, it's going to be like priority, mail for $10, and then cost of book. And I am not out to sell this book, okay? No. This book is written for me, and I am like, there's not like thrilled, I guess, that I'm able to share me with you, because I have been through a blank ton of blank, and I want you to know it and do what you will with it, because I think people need to know a heck of a lot of shit in there. So the no F word. So it's kind of like PG-13 with a little 9.5 weeks or whatever thrown in there. Whatever. Anyway, you can buy it. It's coming out on May 1st. It's going to be Vanity Press. So I'm going to probably make like 50 of them, and then keep like a handful for, people, some of my people. And then the rest will be sold. You get it in 3 days. After that, it's going to be like, until some publishing company picks it up, which I don't really ever want a big publishing company, because it's like 3 years of meetings, and then, oh, sorry, that's not happening with my book. I don't care if I don't eat. I am going to make one Vanity Press if you want it. Look, guys, I was the dungeon master in E.T., and I have panhandled on that corner, Broadway and Camino Seco, to feed my dogs, okay? That's the truth. I have pictures. That doesn't make me a saint, and I don't even know why that came up. But anyway, whatever. Oh, so I'm, I am a very proud celebrity for one reason, because I love you, okay? What that means is I love E.T. I still cry when I see that movie in the end with the rainbow and the part when he's in the thing with the red heart, he's dying or whatever. Again, where was I going? So basically, I don't know. I mean, you're going to get random stuff. I'm going to be on here hopefully regularly, frequently. I don't even know how much YouTube lets you tape. I guess an hour. It's not like TikTok, which is, I don't know what. So anyway, that's what I'm about. Robinhood. What I am stealing, if that's not, I hope that's not a bad word. But anyway, is from the rich, meaning everything is euphemistic. Everything is sort of hyperbolic. Everything is sort of like read between the lines-ish. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I mean. So I'm never going to lie to you. My life is a total open book. Everybody knows it. I can't be blackmailed if that's that's probably a bad word. Criminy. But anyway, I hope it's not. But you can't touch me in that regard because there are no secrets. I have no secrets. My husband knows everything. My son knows everything. Everybody I know knows everything. And what they don't know, I post on Facebook, which it's like my only way of connecting with the people that I used to, make movies with and stuff. Some of them. Actually, every one of my Facebook friends is somebody that I pursued, or I know them, know them. So anyway, that's what you're gonna get. I'll try to work on the lighting because this is horrible. It looks like I am using a really bad filter for some 10th grade book report, and I'm sorry. I'll work on it. So what else? So wait, hold on. Tea's getting cold. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, it's the perfect temperature. They say with tea to serve it scalding. Here's another weird thing. I think I probably posted it is I grew up in a very unusual environment. My mother, long story long, was born in a village in Ireland. So I'm 50% Western European, my blood. She was born in this village and then she went on to be a socialite in Beverly Hills, whatever. The tea. So I don't because we live on Social Security disability, tea is good to fill your stomach. Plus I am sort of, I know I hate that noise. I'm not going to drink it because you know who used to totally make me throw up? I was in commercials forever. I started, help me know where I'm going with this. Well, if I don't, well, who cares? I did commercials from the beginning to the end. So this is I'll tell you a little bit about myself, I guess. I was a member of 3 trade unions, Actors Equity, Screen Actors Guild, and AFTRA, which used to be separate for radio, voiceovers. Voiceovers, by the way, are the clickiest of all of them because there's 2.5 people that do all the voiceovers. But so I started in 71 and I did Yahoo, Mountain Dew, 6 years old or whatever. And my big break was I did the first McDonald's commercial. So this whole 2 all beef patty special sauce stuff with some of our older viewers remember, I did the first commercial for that mix-up of those ingredients. It's a cute commercial. I'll put it, I think it's on actually my channel. It probably is. I'm boring you with that story, but so I messed up the ingredients, and then they ran with that, and all the commercials were being about not being able to say the hamburger's name. So that kind of didn't put me on the map, but it was big. It was McDonald's. So, and then I did a McDonald's commercial later for the Shamrock Shake, and again, I am totally tangential. So follow me, please try. So I was so embarrassed on this McDonald's commercial that my second one, it wasn't a campaign, that's just a coincidence. And it was for, oh my God, it was for the Shamrock Shake. And the Shamrock Shake is so magical, or whatever it is, that it turns you into a leprechaun. This was 76, 77. So I had to walk out of McDonald's, and I already like had issues, okay? Because like I didn't have braces yet, so I looked like one, Charlie Chipmunk or whatever. And I had body shame issue. Oh shit, oops. What did I do about that? Oh well, whatever. If they pull the tape, right? They can only pull the tape, right? Are they gonna kill me? I said another word that I'm sure is blockable. But anyway, so I was coming out of McDonald's, whatever, if they pull the tape. And I suddenly have to freeze frame, escape out of there, take Polaroid, so I'm in the exact same position, and then change into a leprechaun outfit, and then get back in the same position with the Polaroids and everything, and then continue walking, drinking. The point being, as I was sipping, it turned me into a leprechaun. So, point being, I was so mortally embarrassed by this that, I mean, I'm telling you, this is like stuck out, and I'll try to be quick, but I was so embarrassed because people around the McDonald's that we were shooting at were walking by on the sidewalk. And of course, like 500,000 people are staring at me now in a leprechaun outfit with body issues and like, all the stuff that's happened to me, which is in the book, which is like, oh my God. And I'm like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I can mess up your lines for a Big Mac, but for some reason this was like so embarrassing. And there's these people and I'm in a leprechaun outfit and I'm drinking this thing. So I said, please beg the director to put a tarp, which for a tarp, like for that would be like putting up this like big thick chiffon thing so that, you still have the light but no one can see. So they stopped and they put up this thing and I was okay. But I was mortified. And that's the last commercial I did for McDonald's. I had a campaign doing M&Ms. Anyway, so I worked like constantly in commercials from beginning to end. After I got married, another story, in 87, I had done For Keeps. So For Keeps 1988 was the last movie I did, but I kept doing commercials because commercials were big money, and they still are. If you get a national one. If you get a regional one, which means it's like, car dealership in this area, it runs for a while and whatever. National, is big money because they pay a lot to, air it a lot. Commercials, again, totally tangential, which I've already sort of messed up by saying those three words. But my book talks about a lot of stuff because I started in 71 and I really just stopped acting just after For Keeps, so that's way long time. Well, not really, because I was a social worker that I started that in 88 and whatever, who cares? So where was I? So commercials. So big money. So my book is about all these transgressions that are really kind of horrifying, especially if you live through them. As an actor, younger in that period, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Commercials. Now you'd think the movie ones were bad, and they were horrible, read the book. But this commercial, I think, will give you an example of just the grotesqueness of it. I was 16, and it was for the National Blank Advisory Board, okay? Google it. I mean, blank, I don't know, you can't Google it. But it was very high profile, very Procter & Gamble, very whatever. And they have ad agency people at these shootings. And not only Well, no, not for the interviews. That's just cast and direct or whatever. But when you shoot, the ad agencies are there who represent the friggin' blankety blank. And every crumb of the blankety blank better be blankety blank, blankety blank. So I'm doing this commercial I booked for the blankety advisory board, whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking so like preppy, like Boy Next Door, what else, E.T. But the irony there is that after E.T., I couldn't get arrested and I played felons, drug dealers, punk boyfriends, or funny sidekicks. So anyway, back to the commercial. So I'm there and I'm ready to shoot and it's for food. Can I say the food? Yeah, I guess I can say the food. It's cheese. And how many millions of fascinating ways you can make cheese or use cheese. So anyway, whatever. So I'm like breaking apart this cheese sandwich, this grilled cheese sandwich, which is so disgusting that they always have in food commercials a bucket next to you to spit out every frigging bite you took. Not only is it disgusting, but because you'll get full and then you won't look hungry enough to eat the burger. Whatever. Aren't you an actor? Isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? So this man, this director, oh my God. And it was commercial, so you expect more of commercials. There's friggin' ad agency people there, public relations reps for the food, for the whatever product. And then you have producers there who are just basically sitting there, whatever. I'll get into that later, producers. So his way of getting whatever smiley cheese reaction that he thought he needed out of me, and this is going to be a lot of blankety blanks. And I'm going to struggle with this one if I haven't already been shot down by the other three. So this guy, happy as can be, and all of the producers and agency people are there. It's in a small studio. And so he comes up to me and I've got my cheese in my bucket and happy, and he thinks he needs to add to my acting skills. Hello, I studied personally with Lee Strasberg. 1 ratio 1 to 3, 3 children, him, and then 3 to 4, which would be 3 children to 4 adults. Anyway, so this guy comes up to me, hello, look, I have already driven stolen cars and raised hell all over Hollywood, but I'm looking pretty for you, so just don't be a creep. But he was a massive creep. And he came up to me and he goes, with his directing skills, he's like, okay, I want you to imagine. I don't need to be told what to imagine. Isn't that what you hired me for? It is cheese. Okay, what is my objective with eating a cheese sandwich? Whatever, dude. So, oh my God, get this. So he comes up to me. I still can't believe this. And he comes to me and he goes, okay, I want you to imagine that you are looking at someone's blank, like twigs and berries. Can we say that? And so he's implying that this is in my face. And this is his way of getting me to be happy about eating a cheese sandwich. So I'm horrified. But the agency people and the producers are not horrified. They're not horrified. So he's like, now, and he repeats it. He's like, imagine the blank. It's right here. It's the blank. Imagine the blank. Okay, so I eat the cheese sandwich imagining the blank, which I'm trying to block out because it's so revolting and grotesque, what he said, which I will do as blind items. My blind items will be as specific as they are without being litigious. So then he wants a new sandwich eating expression. So he comes up, same place, same in my face, and he goes, now, like he's come up with some brilliant, idea for a new movie. Now, I want you to imagine a gender person's different than the first person, female, blank. So again, it's the twigs and berries equivalent of her. And he's telling me to imagine this in my face. His twigs and berries and her George O'Keeffe painting. Get it? And at this point, I'm like, what planet are you on? What planet am I on? And what planet are they on? So I'm eating this friggin' cheese sandwich over and over and spitting it out and over and not hungry. And then he's telling me this. And you want to know the tragic part? And I'll kind of leave it with this. And I don't know how long I'm supposed to go on. I can go on forever. BTW. So guess what happens? I'm horrified. He keeps doing it with the cheese sandwiches. And the agency people and the producers are laughing. They're laughing. I was 16, freshly 16. I'd been doing commercials since I was 6, but I was only 16. That was only 10 years before. And I'm all dressed up and I got my commercial and I'm eating my cheese sandwich and I gotta hear your like twisted daydream and you're earning what, $15,000 an hour? Not. The makeup artists were working. There were makeup artists back then were making like $2,000 a day, and they're laughing at me, dude. They're laughing at me. And I'm playing along with the joke. By the way, I don't mask anymore. You'll find out more about what that means later. But what you're seeing is like nothing but me. Like I am not masking. So what you're seeing, for better or worse, if this makes it through, because I don't even know how long I've been on, and I don't know if I used the wrong keywords. And they're laughing. So that's kind of like not even like the dust on the tip of the iceberg, because my book names names. My book talks about horrible things that were done to me, but not in a vicious, vindictive kind of like vendetta, like kiss and tell, evil, kiss and tell, whatever. It's not. I lived it. I suffered through it. I suffered through it with thousands of other kids during the late 70s and all through the 80s. Some of them were not straight kids. I hope that, or does that go through? Whatever. Oh my God, I'm never going to make it on the air. So this just happened all over the place, like everywhere, all through the 80s. It's like humiliation and lies and hypocrisy and threats and blackmail, figuratively speaking. So that's kind of like what this is going to be about, I guess. And when I'm not talking about working, but the book. So I'm going to listen to the book, and there are parts that aren't depressing, but they're thought provoking and not like funny. I'm really funny, dude. But this book is not funny. It is not funny. If you want ET tidbits and movie tidbits, it's chock full. Like I'll tell you all this stuff at International Light and Magic up north and whatever. I try to stay away from the stuff that I've told 100 times, but I don't care because, again, tangential. I'll probably lose my train of thought. ET means nothing to me except you. I don't care. Well, I mean, I'm not kicking it out of bed. I love ET. I cry. It changed my life. But to others, not in the movie necessarily, it means something different. It's something different to them. It is something different to me. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to gain. My book is donation-based. I live on Social Security, disability Social Security. I have musculoskeletal, and I have another, so I am like triply diagnosed, and I have to live that way. I can't walk for more than 5 minutes without having an attack. I can't stand for more than 10 without extreme discomfort, and I can't sit for like longer than half an hour before that starts all over again. And I have like a low level like 5-degree pain constantly, and then when the attacks happen, they're 8s and 9s. Where was I going? Except that this is what this is going to be. I don't know. I'll just leave you, I guess, with that I am like hyper dude and a chatty dude and brutally honest dude. I'm not out with my book to take people down. It is a seance. It is a resurrection of things and people and actions and behaviors and incidents and facts. So, any of you worried about me getting sued or whatever, it just can't happen, to be quite honest with you, because every other time I'm like, give me a lie detector test, give me a lie detector test. Because why? Give me a lie detector test. Everything I write, everything I tell you, everything you ask me and I answer, which is my hallmark with my fans, is just going to be the truth. It's just going to be brutally honest. The only thing maybe you won't get is I'll say, well, I don't feel like talking about that, or that's personal right now, or whatever. Everything else, truth, 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 truth. Hashtag truth. So that's what it's going to be about. There's going to be a lot of pretty amazing stuff coming off the top of my head, because that's how I am. I've learned a lot over the years, and I've learned that it's okay to lose control, to give yourself permission without guilt to get a little freaky. So, and I don't mean freaky like I was driving stolen cars when I was 15. I mean just freaky, like spooking your spouse by being too loud or whatever. I want to reserve the right to do that because I'm a good person. I'm a very good person. But it's my right, and I will not feel guilty about it. Yeah, I have regrets. Everybody. I mean, people say they don't. I guess it depends on your definition of regret. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I wish I had done differently. And a lot of things I wish I hadn't done. And a lot of things that I wish were not done to me. I was blankety blanked at 14 by a blank in the blank working arena. And I was blanked by 3 individuals who happened to be in their 30s. And I just have to leave you with that. It's all in the book. I already have a second book, half written in my head. We are actually in the bathroom of the guest bathroom of my house. I wrote my book here. Manually. The book I wrote was 20 years of Post-it notes written in blood, and I probably am going to get 86 for that word, and the Post-it notes kept going in and in and in and in and in and in because I tend to internalize. And then if I externalize, whoa, nuclear time. So, these Post-it notes. So that's how I wrote the book, is I had 20 years of Post-it notes in my head that threw up out of my mouth, head, ears, nose, fingers, obviously typing. And that's how my book happened. I wanted to write this book for 20 years. I am not the type to sit in front of anything and start going like this. I can't write that way. I was one of the premier grant writers in Los Angeles in the late 90s. I actually wrote personal letters for Jill Barad, who was the CEO of Mattel. And that wasn't even my job. I was doing that as a favor because I was a grant writer. Where in the heck was I going with all that? Anyway, whatever. You probably remember and I don't, story of my life. So anyway, that's who I am. I have so much to share with you, and I love Facebook, but I can't get it there. I have acted a long time. I've been whatever celebrity. My sister's Punky Brewster. Okay, fine. I've mingled. I met Elvis. Okay, but I just spent so many years masking, covering up, that I guess I got to a breaking point where I just fractured, and not too long ago. And the mask I was wearing just went, "Whoa," and it was Hellraiser behind the mask. You've seen Hellraiser. They pull the flesh off, and it's muscles and blood. Am I even allowed to say that B word? So whatever, anything I tell you is honest. I will not hide anything from you. My email address, which is on my Facebook page is myname66 at gmail. So SEANFRYE66 at gmail. My phone number I would give you, but I that's probably against their community standards. I don't know, maybe, probably. So that's on my Facebook page. If your Facebook, you just look at my profile and you have everything but the kitchen sink, which is all, I can't give you very much. It's like they give you that URL of your own page. Like, okay, I'm on my page. Why is it, who am I going to give that to? And then it has like, phone number. I live in Tucson, Arizona. That's not on there. I moved here 8 years ago with my son and my husband. I've been with my husband for 32 years. I met him because he wrote me a ticket. My son is 22. I don't get into too much about my son because it's not my story to tell. It's his story, as with many in my life. I feel that it's not my place to say certain stuff. Again, I am free and lost about where I was at, but this is me. My fans mean everything to me. Signing expensive pieces of paper means nothing to me. No offense to everyone else that does it. I love them. That is not me. Expensive paper, signing it with ink that takes like, a second and a half to put the ink in the paper is not worth $1. Much less, no offense, but oh my God, much less $125 for a selfie, a meet and greet, and a picture? Come on, really? So I give autographs out for free. Yes, I do some signings. I mean, just like once I did when some people brought some stuff. And they want to say like, oh, what was the line? There's definitely something going on or whatever. They wanted that on the picture, so the guy had to handle the signing. I've never capitalized on my movie, except now. And only because whatever clout I have, which is not clout, that is way the wrong word, but I know, because I lived through it and I remember it, okay? That's not a very good thing for some people and situations, because I lived. Everyone thought I was going to die. And that word is probably, can you even say the D word? Probably not. Whatever. I'll wrap it up. I've been boring you or bending your ear off your head. So, it's called No Holds Barred because it's no holds barred, because I have nothing to lose, nothing to gain. I don't make money off of Universal anymore. My residuals, if you saw them, which are only for television, cable, and only recently for streaming, and I don't know when that's catching up with me because that was only 1 year ago through my union. So I get when it airs on television, if it airs on cable, or if they make some like weird different like version, which they never do. E.T., they did it once or twice. And I got my $4,000 a week for 11 weeks. And I know this is really tacky. I don't know why I'm telling you my salary, but point is that none of us are millionaires, or I'm not, because I'm not kicking out of bed, like I said before. What am I even, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. I love E.T. But the point that needs to be made is the only reason I love E.T. after I shot it, because I got to see things during that shoot that I will tell you about that you will turn your hair white. But E.T. at the end of the day only means to me you. You can be a hater. I mean, that's cool. I'll read them. I'm not going to delete your stuff. If you're a hater randomly, you bore me. But if you have like a serious, hater thing going on, I want to know. I hope I'm going to get a lot of lovers because I'm a lover. Most of the time. It depends on your definition of lover. I've been through a lot. I've had lovers die in my arms, man. I was like 20, my love of my life was like foaming at the mouth, like dying. And then his brother dies. And I told that story, so strike that for now. I don't know. That's me. And you mean everything to me. If you're a fan of E.T., you mean double everything to me. I don't want $125 for you to take a selfie with me. You want to know what I want is I want to know how old were you when you saw it, or if you've even seen it, if you're one of the 3 people that has never seen it, I want to know, do you have children? Have they seen it? Do you ride bikes? Do they ride bikes? Have you ridden bikes together? Guess what? Other day, long story longer, I'm doing what I do with my fans. I'm the most accessible dude, like, on the face of the planet, like, kind of really. And he writes me or posts or whatever publicly. I mean, not in a DM. Like something ET, I'm always asking, I'm always wanting to know, I'm always wanting to like emote with you about the movie. You can't do that at a table with a cash box. No offense. And he said, I don't ride anymore. And my daughter still has her bike and she doesn't ride anymore. We used to ride. And I said, I typed in my comment, I said, do me a favor. I said, in my honor. I said, please get a bike and ride with your daughter this weekend. And he did. And that's all ET means to me in a nutshell. Okay? Stop crying. So anyway, that's me. I want to know you. I want you to know me. My book's coming out May 1st, Vanity Press. It's going to smell nice. It's going to look nice. It's got a nice cover. And it's illustrated. And guess what? I did the illustrations. It's not like colored pictures of whatever. And it's certainly not pictures of me in movies. You are not ever going to get that. I hate to burst your bubble, but my book is not going to be filled in the middle with pictures. I did, I think, pretty lovely illustrations separating each chapter. So it's illustrated, but it's not illustrated. It's illustrated. And this book means a lot to me. And I am my own worst critic because I did grant writing forever. And I like this book. And I enjoy reading it. I don't read it all the time, but when I do, I kind of can't put it down. But for me, it's because I lived it and all that. But, if I can't put down something that I wrote and read like a jillion times, I like the book. I am proud of the book. The other thing is I've got like 3 more books. So I'm going to have a book out by Christmas. Great stocking stuffer. I hope that doesn't get struck. I don't know, whatever. So that book is slated for Christmas. And I already have it sort of drafted in those Post-it notes. But my lovely book I love so much that I've been wanting to write for 20 years that tells my story, and some of it I want to let go of. Somebody the other day told me well, you need to take all of that and then put more in and then make it like a chronology or like a big fat blank book. And I just had to tell her, I don't like big books like War and Peace. And I don't like anything novelized-ish. And I don't like autobiographies. I have a lot of favorite autobiographies, but it's not kind of my go-to. So I don't want any of that. My book is 150 pages, standard size. I like the cover. It's plain. It gives a message. Back, it has my press, Robinhood press. And it does not have a picture of me. It does not have reviews. It's dedicated to someone extremely special that you won't know until the book is out. And again, I just hope to have nice, fresh, clean, beautiful, nice smelling books. Whether it's 3 or 50, I hope it's 50, or it's as much as I can afford on my check. So I saved a few hundred, and I don't know how many books they're gonna get me. I'm in touch with the site that does it, but whatever. So I'm looking forward to it. It's May 1st, and I hope you are too. And it's just me